That was the sound of my school D&D group after their favorite NPC betrayed them. I'm the club sponsor for the school's D&D club, where I and 2 other DMs run games for students from age 14 to 18. My group are all players that are completely new to D&D. As you can hear, they were totally blown away. This was the culmination of 9 months of playing. Adriel, a cleric assassin, had been with them all this time, was often the MVP of bad fights. They really liked her, and they were stunned when during a private conversation in an alley in Waterdeep, she straight up stabbed one of the characters who had a low-key crush on her. I wish I had a video of their reaction. The player whose character was stabbed literally jumped out of her seat, yelling, "What the expletive? Was she evil all along?" Then they all exclaimed again when Adriel walked into the alley and saw this scene. Now there were 2 Adriels? The group was stunned again when the scene dissolved, and the person who actually stabbed the character was the Lich, Boserac, the big bad evil guy they had been preparing to fight for this whole campaign. And that is how I ended the session. While I was packing up, the player whose character was stabbed came up to me and asked, "Did I just die? Am I dead?" I said, "I don't know, we'll find out next week." She's fine. Kids are resilient, right? It all worked out in the next session when they managed to kill the Lich, and everyone lived happily ever after. I really like this use of betrayal, as no one actually was permanently betrayed. The feeling of being betrayed is awful, and no one likes that feeling. Feeling betrayed and then feeling relieved when the person you thought betrayed you didn't actually betray you is a wonderful feeling, and it keeps the tension at. And I know what you're saying. Betrayal happens all the time in D&D. It happens in your game all the time. But there's a big difference between betraying with a little b and betraying with a big B. And what I mean by that is, if you have led people along for months and months and months, only to betray them at the very end, that can really hurt. What I'm talking about is just using it as a tool for tension. You got to be really careful about what you do. Here's how I recommend using betrayal in your game. You can use the party's favorite NPC to be the target of a shapeshifter, a rakshasa, that thing that changes and has backward hands, or anyone has major illusion spells. This is a great way to bring the party face to face with a nasty monster that you may not have been expecting. They must know that the big bad evil guy they're gearing up to fight is well aware of them and has no intention of letting them get stronger or more prepared to fight him later. Of course he's going to send henchmen of some kind to nip their mission. Matt Mercer did this very effectively on Critical Role Campaign 1. Spoiler alert. When their favorite sorcerer, Merchant Gilmore, was replaced with a Rakshasa, that thing with the backwards hands demon, in similar fashion to our campaign. The Rakshasa, lured Vax to a place where they could be alone and then stabbed him. This made for an interesting encounter and definitely caught the players by surprise. Try adding some betrayal to your campaign, but proceed with caution. An NPC betraying the party briefly is fun. A dungeon master betraying her players is not good. Until next time, class dismissed.